Hi, in this video we'll show how to create a new virtual machine in an existing DRBD and LVM and corosync setup. So we have here two servers, which are the school servers. We do CRM 1-1. We see what is there. See that we have 4 virtual machines, and if we do VG display to show how much space left for us, we see that we have 1.2 terabytes here and 1.2 terabytes here. We need to collect some information before we start. We need to know what is the next available VNC port and what is the next available DRBD device, and we need to see if we have the package, the ISO file for installation or not. The ISO files are all in var libvirt images. So these are the ISO files available for us. We'll see that we have Ubuntu server here, 12.04.5, which is the one we need, so we have it already. To get the next DRBD available, we do DRBD overview. They will be listed in order here, and we'll see that we have until DRBD 8 used, so we can use DRBD 9. So let's create first the virtual, the LVM devices that we'll use. We will create a device for this machine with 300 gigabytes space. So LV create size 300G, name new PDC, and in the VMS virtual group, here's the VMS is here of the virtual group, the name of the virtual group, and we'll do the same on the other machine. So now we have our device. So we will go ahead and create the DRBD. We'll go to etc DRBD.d, and the last one here is CISWC. Here's the name of it. So usually what I do for ease of use here, I cat this one, here it is, and I do a sed on it. So sed E S, and we replace the name with our new name, and we will replace the DRBD number and we will replace the multicast port that they talk to each other through. Every DRBD device has have its own multicast, so 7796 with 7797, and we'll write to the new pdc.s. Now we can just copy this, and the two machines are connected to each other, so certificates, so we can just say scp new pdc .res to CIS host 2 , and this will put it in /etc/drbd.d using the pwd command. Now we can create our device. So DRBD ADM create MD CIS host, new PDC, yes, and on the other one now we have the device. We will start the device on both machines again. So now if we do the DRBD overview, we'll see that we have a device called new PDC now on number 9, and it's connected secondary, and it's inconsistent. Now we need to make one of them take over as primary so they sync their inodes. So DRBD ADM over right data of peer. So override the data of the peer and make this primary and the name of the device. Now if we do the DRBD overview again, we'll see that it is syncing here, and it will take, as it says here, 2 hours, so we will pause the video until we are there. Okay, so now the replication is done, and as you see it's primary here and secondary here, so we need to put the other node as primary also, so we have 2 primary nodes. So on the other node we'll just say DRBD primary new PDC. So now if we do an overview, we'll see that both are primary. Now we can add it to our CRM configuration, so I will just maximize that, and then I will say env editor equal nano, which is my preferred editor, and CRM configure edit. Here we can write from scratch, and we can just copy one of these and just paste it, so, and change the names. So we'll go down here so we can copy and paste once, anywhere it can work, and we'll just change this to new PDC, and this one to new PDC. So we have now a new resource called DRBD new PDC, and then we will clone the resource. So again we will copy one of those, and we will change the names here. So we are cloning new PDC, and the clone name will be new PDC. It started here. Here it says that clone maximum are 2, so we have maximum of 2 clones. Clone node maximum 1, master maximum 2, which means that it will be primary on both. And it started because we already created it and it's primary on both, so we can have this started here. And we'll just save the file. Now if we do CRM1-1, we should see this resource. It says failed here. Yeah, CIS not running. We know that it's not running, but we will see our new PDC here. To clean up this error, we'll say CRM resource cleanup, and the resource name is CIS WCIS 3D, and now we have the error cleaned up. Okay, so our next step here is to create the virtual machine itself. To do that, I have a script here that I run to get the last VNC port used. So I'll just find it here. I ran it before. Yeah, here it is. So I will explain what this does. So all the virtual machine configuration files are in etc libvirt QEMU. All these XML files are configuration files. If we just cat one of them, we will see what's inside it. This is the configuration file. It has the devices, it has the RAM, it has everything, and it has the VNC here and the port for the VNC. So when I run my command here, which basically I cat all of them, grab the VNC line, oak number 3, which is the port number, and then set to remove port equal and only end up with the number, and then I sort them. So I will see here that the last VNC used port is 5905, so I can use 5906. And we know from before, we show that before, that our image here, we will use the Ubuntu server. So here we are, and we can create our virtual machine. So virt install name equal new PDC, RAM equal 4096. We'll give it 4 giga RAM. Now we can increase this later if we need to. CD-ROM equal var libvirt images and the name of our CD-ROM, and then we'll say disk path equal dev DRBD by res new PDC 0 and network bridge equal BR0 and network bridge equal BR1. Just we will make sure here that these are the right names. If we do ifconfig, we will see that we have BR0, which is a bridge for ETH0, and BR1, which is a bridge for ETH1. Okay, and then HVM for full virtualization, no auto console, so the virtual will not open an auto console, and then video equal VGA, and graphics, which is the VNC, graphics is VNC, port equal 5906. Listen, we'll listen on all interfaces, so we can get it from the external interface, and then OS type equal Linux, and OS variant equal Ubuntu precise. To see these options, you can do man virt install, and this will give you the manual for virt install, where you can see all the options available. Okay, so now the virtual machine will be created on host 1 for now, and host 1 is 192.168.50.50, so we'll create it here, and now we can connect to it through VNC. So I will create here a new server, and I will call it CIS new PDC, and it will be on 192.168.50.50 and port 6. Here you go. So now we can run our normal installation here. I will not set up any IPs or anything because I will leave this to you guys. So I'll just do the installation here quickly. So we'll get an address from the DHCP for the network now, but of course we'll have to change this later and give it an address. I will call it new PDC. Name and password as usual. And it is America Edmonton. I usually change this to UTC, but I will not do that here because I don't know what the rest of the network is. And use entire disk. I will just install the OpenSSH. Now it will just shut down the system. Before I do anything else, I need to copy this configuration to the other machine. So now we will see a new configuration here for our new PDC. So we will copy it to the other machine, CIS host 2 PWD, and then on CIS host 2 we need to enable it. It's not there here, it's there but it's not actually in the verse system, so we will say verse define new pdc.xml, and this will define it here, so it's on both hosts now. We can start it manually now, or we can just add it to the CRM and start it from the CRM, which I prefer to do. So again, we will maximize this. We will do our env editor here and start this. Again, we can copy any virtual machine here and just change the name. So I will take this resource here, which is a DRBD resource. All our virtual machines end with DRBD to be recognized, and we can script against them. So we will change this here, the path to new PDC XML, and we'll change this name here to new PDC, and then we have to tell it which DRBD to start after, and the order and the location where it should start. So we will create a location for it first. So say location CIS new PDC. Before we do that, we did something here that is not right. We should keep our naming convention straight here. So we will go up again and we will change this so our resources will all have the same naming convention. So CIS new PDC, and then we can go down now, and actually we should, although it's too late to do the DRBD, but sorry, that was a mistake. I didn't keep my naming convention here. So location CIS new PDC VD refers. We have to check which hosts we should do, and at the same time, this because they were copied, something is wrong here, so we have to say here refers CIS host 1, and this one refers. I like to keep things clean. Doesn't matter, as you see here, everything is started because this is just the name for the resource, but I like always to keep things clean. Host 1, and this one CIS host 2. Keeping it consistent make it easier to script things, because you can script against anything you want here. Prefers CIS, and we'll start this on host 1 because the SQL server is the biggest RAM used in the system, and it started on host 2. So for not enlarging the RAM in one of the hosts, we'll start this one in CIS host 1. So we'll say CIS new PDC VD, new PDC VD. 50 means that it can start on one of them, because the stickiness is 100, so 50 means one of them. If we wanted to not start or start in a specific host, we say -inf, and we will say here host 1, and then the co-location is where it coincides with a DRBD resource, so co-location CIS new PDC VD with DRBD new PDC imp. So CIS new PDC VD with MS DRBD new PDC master. So it starts with this is master, and then the order order CIS new PDC VD after DRBD new PDC. All these are just resource names, and as I said, it doesn't matter what the name is as long as it's unique, but I like to keep things consistent. So MS DRBD new PDC, promote this first to master, and then start CIS new PDC VD. Okay, so all our resources are straight now. If we don't get any errors here and we do CRM 1-1, we should see that new PDC started here, and it started on host 1. We can connect to it now again through the VNC here, and it started. All what I will do here, I will do the initial steps that I usually do as common steps in all the virtual machines. There is a problem with precise 14.05 that the cache of the apt is old. So first I go usually to var lib apt lists, and I delete everything, and then now I can run apt get update. And apt get dist upgrade. and 3 packages I install by default. 2 of them are important, so Verge can deal with the virtual machine, which is the ACPI packages, and I install usually screen2. So apt-get install ACPID, ACPI support, and screen. Okay, and this conclude our video for creating a new virtual machine on an existing system.